Good morning. How are you all doing? Excellent, excellent. First and foremost, I want to say, just coming off the last panel, I am a policymaker who understands that child care workers are heroes. Yes, let's give it. And I also just really want to express my incredible gratitude to Aijen, who has been a phenomenal leader on this issue. And as I'll talk about in my remarks, the whole notion of care has really been transformed over the last several decades, and it's because of her leadership and other people in this room. And I think we all just owe her in the White House a real debt of gratitude for centering care in the halls of Congress, in our national conversation, and in communities across the country. So yes, let us thank. I'm just going to age myself here and say I've been working on child care issues, care issues, since the Clinton administration. And back in the Clinton administration, I worked on the Domestic Policy Council. I also worked for Hillary Clinton. And one of my first acts as in the administration was to work on the President Clinton's child care initiative, which at the time, way back in 1999, was a historic investment. That investment was a few $1 billion, but it was still historic for that time. I am now serving, this is my third Democratic administration, and now I serve as the President's Domestic Policy Advisor. And what I am so incredibly proud of is because of the leadership of people in this room, the leadership of the entire advocacy community, and because of the political leadership that's been demonstrated. Care is at the center of the President's and Vice President's economic agenda and the center of his domestic policy agenda. And that is a real tribute to people who've been working on this for so long. And I'll just give a minute as to why. Now, I know people in this conference have heard all about the economic statistics, about how child care investments, paid leave investments, our care investments overall make us more economically competitive. As the Labor Secretary Julie Su said yesterday, it's hundreds of billions of dollars to our national economy when we invest. So I know the President knows those numbers, the Vice President knows those numbers. I know we all know those numbers. And that's a really critical reason why these investments are so important. But the President really also thinks of this not just from the macro, but also the micro, which is the nature of care itself really involves the most important decisions we make as people. The care of our children, the care of our family relatives when they're sick, when they're the most vulnerable. And what's upside down about our politics and our policy over the last 30 years is that these most crucial decisions have been entirely privatized. So we all bear the burden on our own, unlike any other country in the world. That is just crazy. It is crazy from an economic perspective because we leave so much money on the table to our economy, our economic growth. But it is crazy for what we expect our parents, daughters, sisters, brothers to do. And that is why I'm so proud to work for an administration that has put care at the center of our economic vision, and as I said, from day one of our administration. So as part of the American Rescue Plan, in the first few days, we had a $50 billion investment in child care and care, more than any administration in history. Let's give it up for the $50 billion. And of course, we put care at the center of our Build Back Better agenda. Now, we didn't get everything. Crucial issues left on the table, but that is why the president has put child care, paid leave as part of his budget and center to his economic vision going forward. Because we believe that when we talk about the need to finish the job, when we talk about what's the most important issues for this administration going forward and what we need to accomplish, first and foremost is care. Child care, paid leave, elder care, long-term care. This is the unfinished business of our economy. This is the unfinished business of family policy. It is the unfinished business of domestic policy. And that is why I am so excited to be here in this particular moment. Because as others have mentioned, we have before us the supplemental. This is $16 billion that we are fighting for right now. Just last week, the president put forward his domestic supplemental, and at the heart of it is $16 billion for the child care system. And why does that really matter? Because we know from these investments we have kept 220,000 centers alive. We have helped 10 million Americans. And as we talk about the importance of our international investments, it's really vital that we step up and invest here at home, right? Because when centers go under, that means families are stressed. When centers don't have enough support, that means workers can't be paid. That means quality goes down. That means people aren't served. So for all of these reasons, as Congress takes up a new appropriation, it is vital that we get our $16 billion, and that is why I'm so grateful to be here at this one moment, because I hope all of you will let our national leaders know that now is the time. When we talk about urgency, our care system is an urgent national need that needs to be addressed right now. Now, we aren't just stopping at Congress. I'm proud of the administration putting forward the first and most comprehensive CARE EO that really took an approach at every single agency to drive forward on how we improve quality, how we improve quality of care, how we enable caregivers, how we help raise salaries for care workers. It's a comprehensive approach that works across every agency. But we are not going to build the system our country deserves, our children need, our families need, our care workers need, unless Congress steps up and makes the investments that we are so demanding. And I'll say one last point. There is so much rhetoric about parents and supporting parents. The other side really likes to talk about divisive issues that help parents. Well, let me tell you something. There is no issue more important to a parent than the care of their child, the care of their family members, the care of their parents. So don't tell me you care about parents and a parent's agenda when you ignore the care economy. Don't talk about how you just care, nobody cares about parents unlike you, when you're willing to just ignore the desperate pleas of parents for help, particularly low-income parents who cannot make ends meet as good workers and good family members. A real family values agenda ensures we don't make parents make those hard choices. We invest in them, we invest in their children, and we invest in this country. Thank you very much.